Good morning, everybody. It is the third of cat. Just turn on my camera and there's a cat over here. They're a lot more friendly in Baranovichi, as you see. Come on. Hey. Oh, I know you. I remember you from before. I remember you. I remember you. Oh, there's another cat over there. This is a schoolyard, by the way, and it's locked up, I guess. They keep it locked up, probably so nobody vandalizes things. And then the cats. There's another cat over there. I don't know if you can see it coming this way. There's this fellow talking about some news. It's like I said, it's like a Sunday, so the cats are all out. Like yesterday when I was in Minsk. So, and there was a lot of comments about cats, of course, came in. And I know they make some different sound when they call cats. I think I can't remember quite what it was. It's like, kiss, 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 kiss. But I developed my own even before I came over here. I just go, you know, it just gets their attention. It's not really anything. If I make that sound, the ones that are friendly and used to humans, they also come. You know, knowing that you have some food for them or something. And unfortunately, here, I was talking also with somebody in the comments about, you know, having food when you go out, and here I didn't bring anything when I'm coming out here. I would just want to, you know, do things kind of spur of the moment, and then I come out. Cats are playing over there now. Yeah. So, but we're not talking about cats. It was yesterday, as far as news is concerned, I was able to talk to my in-laws, an in-law relations in Paris, and who also subscribes to this channel. And anyway, I was hearing that in Paris, they, at least in Paris, I don't know about the other major cities where all these eruptions are going in France, you know, that was sparked off from some teenager getting killed by the police. It seems to me like the teenager probably never had a driver's license, and then they shot the kid, killed him for trying to get away or something. It's I think in most countries you're not allowed. Policemen are not allowed to shoot unless someone is fleeing from a crime or a suspected crime or whatever, but driving without a license is I don't know, that's not any kind of a serious crime. It's like, I don't know, it's a little bit too much, but that's not the real reason, as everybody knows, why they have all this stuff going on in Paris. It's bad government, plain and simple. It's just bad government, and it's a number of reasons. It's like you know, it's like when they were just erupting a little. What was the last one about raising the retirement age by 2 years? And in truth, that retirement age puts it, you know, kind of in line with the rest of the world. I mean, not even quite, you know. But there's some countries I notice that have a retirement age of, like, I don't know, 55 or, you know, very young, and then there are some that are up and near 70. You can't retire till you're like about 70 or so. So I don't know what it was in Paris. I think they were raising it to maybe 62 or 64 or something. I mean, in France. But it's just all of these things. It's accumulation of all these things. Raising the gas prices, I think that was the Yellow Vest movement. But it's just plain and simple bad government in France. Macron, and I think it was Lukashenko. They've kind of traded insults a little bit. Here, trying to go the other way. Child and his dad going somewhere. I think some of the comments I know from Lukashenko to Macron was that he's Lukashenko says he's kind of like a beginner or something like that, or whatever. You know, Lukashenko's been there a lot longer, and he knows really what's going on, and that's why I kind of fear for if Lukashenko's ever gone, you know. And then you're going to get some puppet from the West, boy, we're going to be in really big trouble here, you know, because Belarus, I don't think, can stand on its on like natural resources. It doesn't have a seaport, has no natural resources, and the West is going to come in here and just exploit this country so badly, and it's going to be destroyed. It's going to be worse than Moldova or some places like that, you know. So. And, you know, Lukashenko at least knows how to, he plays the cards that were dealt to him, and he knows how to play them. And a lot of these leaders don't. France has got tremendous, tremendous potential, but yet you got bad leadership, like I say. Anyway, and some of the other insults, I think when they had this disruption in 2020, and there were protests, and Lukashenko put them down, and but Macron was saying something like he was going to try to come and tell Lukashenko how to handle protests and things like that. Well, you know, Macron, he might be an expert because, you know, it seems like France is under constant protest for years and years and years. Maybe he should write a book on how to cause protests, Macron. So, but anyway, the relatives over there, they said that there's virtually nobody on the streets. Everybody only goes to get, you know, shopping what they need, or if they need something, or maybe to take their dogs for a walk, or, you know, everybody tries to avoid the streets as much as possible. I feel sorry for the businesses, you know, even a lot of street sidewalk cafes over there. Well, that's just Paris alone, but I'm sure that's the same in a lot of these other cities in France. And yeah, Macron has got a, well, not just Macron, I'll tell you what, all these countries, apparently there's some disruptions in Brussels and other places as well, but you know, the difference is these countries, the leaders, they don't really care about their people. You know, they make policy for themselves to keep them in power and to keep their donors, you know, the money flowing to them. And one reason why I walk this way, because for even 2 years, there's a friend here, a cat, and this guy, he's here, he's one-eyed cat. Stray, and this is his area. Right, boy, do you remember me? You're a one-eyed cat, aren't you, huh? How you doing? Huh? You remember me? You don't remember me. I didn't bring any food, I'm sorry. No, I don't have anything, sorry. Where's your collar? You had a collar on before. Huh? Huh? You had a collar. Oops. I know people take care of you, huh? Oh, you got some hairballs, huh? How's it going, huh? You even let me touch your belly. Most kitties don't allow that. Oh, maybe because you're coughing. Anyway, sorry I didn't bring any food. I'll have to do that the next time. Yes, this is that kitty's hangout area here. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel terrible I didn't bring any food now. Mr. Fluffy Ball. Sorry, boy. Well, yeah. Oh, I hope he doesn't follow me. Well, he's following me. I don't even have any money, and there's a shop over here. Right here to get cat food. Oh, he stopped, good. That cat's been here around 2 years, and it made it through the winters and all. So that's a good thing. Okay, yeah, Paris, I don't know, that's probably about all I wanted to say about, well, not Paris, France in general. You know, terrible how all this stuff. I'll show you there's a shop over here. Now, if you can see how this is written here, this all looks like Latin letters, at least on the name. And you would not guess what that says. It looks like it says C-A-H-M-A. So how would you pronounce that in English? But the real way to pronounce that in Russian is Santa. Just like that guy that wears that red suit and comes around Christmas time, comes down your chimney and brings you presents. Well, that's how that is pronounced, Santa. So just saying how confusing that is a little bit. And then of course that M, I mean, well, what looks like an M, it's actually a T. That's not really how it's written in printed letters. They took the shape of that, and that's how it's written in handwritten letters. So how you write in Russian is different than how it's printed. So, and then I see some Russians even making that T sound. They use the Latin letter T. So a lot of people understand that because everybody knows English and how it's, oh, well, they don't know English, but they know that that's the T sound. Here's a Burger King sign. Just opened up in Baranovichi not long ago, just like a month ago. Never had a Burger King here. Pretty big too, really big area. Because KFC does so well here. KFC practically can't even sit in there. Yes, so much for sanctions and so much for boycotting. There is no boycott on Western products, actually. They're not doing that here. They just want product substitution, but it's not like they're making a law or they're making it strict, but they're just trying. It's actually just geared towards production. It's not geared towards consumers. So production, they want people to produce things that they never made here or whatever, to replace all that, because they see how this is working with the West. And the West, I think that's about all they have left, really, is to find some way to punish Russia and Belarus if Russia and Belarus don't do what they're told to do. You do everything the way we want you to, or we're going to do something back to you. We're going to do some kind of sanctions. It's really weird because Belarus and Russia, they never reach for any sanctions against anything on the West, and they never demand on them what they should and should not do, where they should go, who their friends should be, things like that. Well, you guys know this stuff. So, and I was watching television last night, here, Russian television, and it was showing a lot of things a lot more graphically than what you're going to see even on anything like YouTube or on any kind of social media, really. And I was seeing things that I didn't even see on Telegram. I don't really follow that much on Telegram, but you know, they were showing additional things. But then there are some things on Telegram that they would not show on television. You know, there's sometimes some really gruesome things, like what happened in Paris. Some guy, and a lot of you probably saw this, who somehow got his hand under or his wrist under a streetcar, and it was film footage. And this guy, and oh boy, I don't know, it looked like he got ran over by a streetcar and lost his hand. His hand is laying over one place, and he's there, and blood all over the place. Really gruesome stuff. But anyway. And now they talk about what's happening in Paris. Well, here I thought I was finished talking about France and Paris, but now they're talking about this. This is a huge new generation of protesters. These are all very young people, like maybe 13 and 14, probably because the age of that driver. I think he was 16 or 17 or something. I don't know. And so I guess it's the next generation. So, and the next ones are going to be coming after them. You know, it's you have various generations of protesters in France. French are known for protesting anyway. The Germans aren't. So the Germans have a lot more to protest about than the French do, actually. Macron just has some terrible policies, but look at what's happening in Germany. I tell you, everybody talks about it. Even the Germans know about this. Some of the Germans that are subscribers to the sites, well, one or two. It's doomed Germany. Jeez. And like I was saying yesterday, and I just, I was even astounded when I lived in Germany. You know, why they're not just, and some of the things that are really terrible, that they don't really protest so much in Germany. I don't know. Look at this. Here's a Ukrainian tank here. Look at that. I don't know how they get in, and I don't know how it moves, but that's it right there. Huh. Playgrounds all over in Belarus. Everywhere you go, there's a school and a playground. Whoever was filming this over there in Kramatorsk, and I guess Ukraine is extremely, extremely angry that they showed that, and maybe the U.S. too, that people had that on their cell phones or who knows what not, and but not just that, it was, but they showed a lot more soldiers there than what the other footage showed. So there was a lot of soldiers there, and I think I saw in one. It looked like there was at least like 50 soldiers there trying to, you know, find those that are underneath the rubble and all that sort of thing. And then this one guy saying, it's disgusting that Russia did this. You know, yeah, it's disgusting. Isn't it disgusting that you are over there training people of this hateful ideology, training them to go kill Russians? So what do you expect? Well, look at this, some more stray cats. I'll have to show this. I don't know. I've never been to this area. This is in Baranovichi, of course, but let's see. Here's one. Found a hood to lay on. A lot of time cats are by supermarkets. You have anything, are you, huh? Can I pet you? Huh? You okay? You're not even running. You're certainly a stray, aren't you, huh? Why are you cats in Baranovichi all so friendly, huh? This guy, is he friendly too? Are you friendly? What, you just getting warm on the car hood here, huh? That's not your car. Boy, you're so ugly that you're cute. You're okay? See, I'm all right. You're so ugly that you're cute. Oh boy, you're all matted up and everything. Oh man, you really need a rescue, don't you, boy? Girl? Huh? Yeah. What's up? You're so ugly that you're cute. Boy, I'll bet you're going to look a lot different if somebody took care of you. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Sorry. Don't have no food either for you. Well, that guy can be saved. Definitely. Huh. His fur is all matted up. Got problems with his skin, bad skin problems. You can feel it with your hands. And yeah, just not in good shape. So, yes, well, I don't know this area here. Off the beaten path. What is this? Looks like I have kind of stepped into a different dimension here. Off in a different dimension, the Twilight Zone. So, anyway, people, old buildings, but they're, it's interesting, you know, because you don't see anything that needs this kind of renovation that much anymore in Belarus. I'll tell you what, I was here in the year, like I say, 2000, in the year 2000. And most, well, I wouldn't even say most, but very much of Belarus looked like this. Not so much, not so bad in Minsk, but Baranovichi, most all the buildings looked like this, in need of repair and all, and how surprising everything got. Matter of fact, even in 2007, things were kind of run down, and how very, very much things have changed in Belarus. I guess certainly for the better, at least how as far as things look, and there are still some things that need to happen here, but nothing happens overnight. And you're watching the United States, and everything is getting slowly and slowly worse and worse. And now we're going to see a rapid deterioration in Germany because of this deindustrialization, and it really, really makes you wonder. It's not you can't believe that these politicians are so incredibly stupid that they would be going through with this stuff willingly. It's I would be really curious to find out what's really in their minds and how this is really happening. And then you got these people, and I question the integrity and the loyalty of Habeck and Baerbock. And then I think, in my opinion, I'll tell you what, I think Schultz is compromised, and I still say that. I stick with that. I think he's got something in his past or recent past, and I think it's been used against him, because I've seen that's how that works in politics. A lot of you already know that. Sometimes you have some powerful person that seems powerful, and they have some sort of an attraction for money, an inappropriate attraction to children, or just women in general. They're married, they have family. And then you see that even when there's very powerful people, and then there's and I'm not talking about Epstein, and I'm not talking about Bill Gates, because if I was talking like that, of course I would be censored off of YouTube, so I wouldn't say anything about that. But anyway, you see how there's some people, and they get some, what kind of tree is that? They get some sort of dirt on very, very rich people or people in political offices, and then they can kind of easily steer them to do whatever they want. And then sometimes you can even find that they're connected to somebody that might be a little bit higher up in the World Economic Forum, or some kind of an organization like that. Some gorgeous people there playing a gorgeous George or things like that. How things all work out, boy, oh boy. It's like a girl running from some school here. Looks like, I don't know what school this is. I'll show you over here. Young lady for you all young guys. School system is much different here. A lot of time you go to school in the same school. It's not like kindergarten, like grade school and grade school, junior high, high school. Sometimes you stay in the same school from kindergarten up through your high school years. And I think you get some kind of a chance to switch schools, because I remember, hearing some people, like in one school like this one, they might, if you say for a foreign language, they might specialize very good in German or something, but yet the student might want to know English a lot better. So there's always a school another block away, and they'll go to that school because it has English or something. Some loud truck here. That's going about 2 miles an hour. I don't know. I was going to take a different way, but I don't really have so much other news. I'm just kind of ranting around in this neighborhood here. I don't know if that interests anybody right now, but like I said, there's well, that was another thing I was going to talk about, and that's probably more important news. Apparently, it looks like everybody's pushing for a nuclear war. Everybody's pushing to use nuclear weapons. And like this whole move of Lukashenko here, and maybe even requesting to get nuclear, tactical nuclear weapons here in Belarus as a deterrent, but yet Poland, they were amassing troops on the border and said they're going to build their military huge. Everybody knows about this. They want to have the biggest and the most powerful military in all of Europe, and it makes you really wonder why. Why would a person, why would you do that? Why would you do that? A military, it's not like it brings in a lot of revenue. It doesn't bring in any revenue. It eats your revenue away. And somebody who's not under threat, why in the heck do you want a big military? It's like, why does Finland want to give up neutrality? And I think there was some talk recently with a lot of people talking about how, what a great, I think it was in the Irish, it was Mike Wallace and Claire Daly, and they were talking about what a great thing neutrality is. And they were talking it in a context with Ireland. But what about Finland? What about, you know, in Finland, they lost to Russia twice. And the last time, Russia said, we're not going to absorb your territory. We'll let you have your own sovereignty and independence as long as you stay neutral. And now Finland decided they don't want to do that. So they want to put themselves on a course destined for war at some time in the future. And they think that NATO is such a powerful organization when obviously we're finding out it isn't. And a lot of people are saying that NATO, collective NATO, all the nations combined to include the United States, could not beat Russia in a conventional war. Russia is, at this point in time, is the most powerful conventional military force on the planet. And there's no doubt about that. And guess what? They're going to get even a little bit more powerful. And it's not, has nothing to do with any desire to invade anybody, but it looks like, as NATO has promised, and as Poland is promising, that they want to go after Russia. So, and at least all of you watching this know that. I don't know about people getting indoctrinated and brainwashed from the CNN or something like that. I don't know if they're going to hear that. But you guys all know the score here. And these countries over here that actually care about their people, and they're not compromised by multi-billionaires to do everything the way the multi-billionaires want to get it done. They're actually here for the interests of their people. And at the same time, that means that they're not getting this huge influx of money at certain periods of time when, to make it look like they're doing something for the country. And I'll tell you, I lived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is a very small country, you know, in the Caribbean, 110,000 people. And I saw how the influence of money works down there. You've got a small island there where all the property and everything are owned by millionaires and billionaires. It's an exclusive island that the regular people are not allowed to even go to unless you work there. But nobody can, practically nobody can afford to stay there because it costs way too much. Even workers, even Western workers, they have to live like on St. Vincent, the main island, and fly every day to this island because staying overnight there is way too expensive. Unless you think paying, what, $1,500 US a night is cheap. It's a lot cheaper to have somebody living on a, I don't know what the price is now, $2,000 US a night. You know, houses owned by, or property owned by Bryan Adams and Mick Jagger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Pierce Brosnan, the royal family of England. I've been there to that island one time. I was not so pleased. I was not so anxious. I was anxious just to get there and just look around once. Not so impressive to me. I don't know. I see how this influence is, and like say those people on that island, and let me also mention foreign governments, and how they influence the that government, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, strangely enough, never comes up with any policies that support industry in that country. Nothing for lower import duties necessarily. I mean, they do have some things, but it's not what you would expect if you want to increase industry. You know, there's very few people there, and they don't know how to build an economy from the ground up. You know, so they believe that everything is started somewhere on the third row. You know, like when you're building a house, instead of that, you first need a very strong foundation. And then you build the first row and the second row and the third. They want to start on the third row. It doesn't really work that way. What is this? I don't even know what kind of car. It says Hemi. Hemi, what is, I think I remember that from the old days, from old cars. RT, what is this? What does it say here? Oh, Challenger. So it's a Dodge Challenger right there. It looks pretty expensive if you ask me. It looks sharp, of course. I see a lot of Chevys here, a lot of Chevrolets. So, and what did I see? I saw Ford yesterday. I think you see the biggest variation of cars of anywhere in the world is right here in Belarus. You see Chinese and Japanese and American and Russian and Korean. You see everything here. I was talking about everybody. It seems like everybody's they're all reaching for nuclear weapons now. It seems like it's almost inevitable. And in Ukraine, like I mentioned in the last video, there are people flooding out of Kiev right now like you would not believe. A lot of people are leaving Ukraine. They're flooding out of Kiev more so than they were before. And it's because on the news and on programs in Ukraine, they're trying to make it sound like it's no big deal. Nuclear fallout and all that is no big deal. And they're making drills right now in Ukraine and setting up these stations for people, like for detoxification, you know, in drills, you know, and people wearing like it's not really even nuclear gear. It doesn't look like it's gonna. I don't even know why they're even bothering. But anyway, people getting scared and they're leaving because in Kiev, at least on the news in Ukraine, they're trying to say, don't worry, it's not going to reach Kiev, you know, but if it does, you know, we're going to prepare you for what to do, you know, when you have nuclear fallout. So they're normalizing it. They're normalizing nuclear fallout in Ukraine. And as people on this channel know, it's not Russia trying to blow up the power plant, the Zaporizhzhia power plant. It's Ukraine, and they're now trying. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's inevitable. They're going to get these. They're going to get longer range weapons from the United States, and they're already firing at the Zaporizhzhia power plant. And it seems like that's at least a lot to them. That's, at least at the moment, that's the last card they have. That's the last card, is terrorism. Terrorism in Russia and terrorism in their own country. And that lets you know, if they're going to be doing this, and they're using depleted uranium in the Donbass, that they know already that they've lost that territory. And all of this stuff is just to piss off Russia and to, write it all off. Well, what if Russia starts using depleted uranium right around Kiev and over in the western parts of Ukraine? We'll see what happens here. Well, that's about all I have for right now. And thanks for joining me. And, well, have a good 4th of July and 3rd of July for those of you in Belarus, the 15%. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again. Bye-bye.